Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Sound of Violence. And this is a new horror film from writer-director Alex Noyer, starring Jasmine Savoy Brown, who plays Alexis, who is a young woman who witnesses her father coming home from war, murdering her mother. She murders him, and then she has this, and she was deaf at the time, has this euphoric experience of colors and things that bring her hearing back. And throughout this film, she starts killing people in absolutely brutal and crazy creative ways in order to get musical, different kinds of musical, like, vibrations and playing that appear in her head from all the sounds that it makes while she's causing immense pain to people. This film's messed up, just to give you a heads up. So, warning, this is a messed up film, and it's really unnerving and creepy, and really it starts all with the sound design of this film because she's deaf, and how they capture that cinematically is really strong, and how they mix the sounds of the film and edit it together, it really makes for a really unnerving and creepy experience. And especially as the film goes on, you have these unique visuals of colors and things just popping up, and you have that mix of the sound that makes for a very unique and unnerving experience. And you'll probably hear me say eerie and unnerving quite a few times because this film definitely is that. And it takes you some places. And one of the biggest issues that I had with the film is I feel like by the end it felt very mean-spirited in terms of, it felt like Saw, where I'm just watching torture porn after a while. And yes, some of the ways that she winds up causing harm to these people gets more creative and interesting as it goes on in a very morbid way, obviously. But it never feels like it's doing the violence in the service of something important. It just feels like, how much can we gross you out? And it feels very manipulative. And you have this whole film centered at the beginning around this family dynamic and this horrible situation that Alexis deals with as a kid, and then shifts into more of a friendship kind of thing with her best friend Marie, played by Lily Simmons, and her boyfriend's there, and they're starting to question things. The cops are looking into all these strange, really brutal and graphic and gore-filled murders going on. And obviously the story is not the most, plot-wise, it's not the most surprising. It's like she's being really suspicious. Friends start to notice first, and then the cops on her tail, and you can probably guess where this goes, and it leads up to one really unbelievably gross and unnerving kill. And it kind of leaves the film on that note, and obviously it leaves quite an impression at the end, but I don't know how much it all came together to actually deliver something. And there's this eerie themes of sound and dark twists and experiments and deaths, like I mentioned before. You have this societal turn of, like, are we supposed to be on her side? You start to see people really turning on her with her, like, really graphic and weird and inappropriate music that she's creating. You really focus on this friendship between her and her friend Marie, and honestly, in the end, it really feels like, besides our main character, most of the characters are just there for plot devices. They're for kills, there to advance this, advance that. So there isn't a whole lot of interesting characters to really connect to in this film. It's well shot, it's interestingly made, it's creepy. If you're into, like, the gory Saw kind of death horror films, this is right up your alley. But if you're not, I don't think this one's really going to work for you. Unfortunately, I myself are the latter. This one didn't really work for me. It definitely had potential, but in the end, I felt like this one was a bit of a mean-spirited misfire of a horror film. But those are my thoughts on Sound of Violence. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.